7th and 8th grade, welcome back to our next video. We are looking at some of the sticky worldview topics this week. And today we're talking about the similarities and the differences between male and female. And this is one of those topics that reveals what someone's worldview is. It's not hard to see differences between guys and girls. From your 2-year-old sibling to your 90-year-old great-grandmother, you can observe differences between male and female. We think, we experience, and male and female feels very differently. And today we're going to see that male and female have some of the greatest things in common and yet are designed very uniquely by our Creator. To understand some of the similarities between guys and girls, we need to go way back in time to the very end of the creation story. Now, the chronology is a little bit difficult to understand, but the writer of Genesis is crystal clear about the uniqueness of humans compared to the rest of creation. In Genesis 1, verse 27, he says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them." Now, there are some big differences. We observe it in the world around us, and we read it right here in Genesis. But before we go into all of that, we need to know that there is a huge similarity. Both are created in the image of God. Now, throughout church history, this amazing truth has been described as Imago Dei. By God's command, all humans, male and female, are elevated above all the rest of creation, and they are called to be the world's caregivers. But not only that, we actually mirror several characteristics of God himself. We are created. We, to an extent, rule the world around us, and most importantly, we're designed for relationship with God and with others. God created all of us on purpose, for a purpose. Understanding Imago Dei, literally in the image of God, leads to another key similarity between male and female. We have the value in God's eyes. Throughout the Bible, God acts radically countercultural. His attitudes towards men and women alike is one of grace, love, and interest. In a world that consistently regarded women as less, he works through them and for them. He works through Joseph just as he works through the Hebrew midwives. He works through Deborah as well as Samson. He uses King David as well as Queen Esther, and the stories could go on. In short, Imago Dei teaches us that all guys and girls are intentionally created by God with equal value in God's eyes. So there are some key similarities, but we haven't completely finished our conversations. There are clearly some obvious differences between guys and girls. So yes, we are created with equal value, and that is 100% without a shadow of a doubt. So how did we get to these differences, and are these differences good? So let's go a little bit further into the Genesis account. We see here that Adam has already been created. But in this perfect world, a problem arises. Adam has no one to have a relationship with. Remember, we are created Imago Dei, and so one of the results of that is that we are hardwired for relationships. So as the final created being, God forms Eve in Genesis chapter 2. But here's the catch. Eve is not an exact copy of Adam. She is unique. Now that means that Eve is not designed exactly the same as Adam is, even though she is exactly the same in worth. So what are some of those differences? Well, in short, men are designed and called by God to take responsibility, to lovingly lead, provide for, and protect women in appropriate ways. And imagine this, you're on the soccer field and a guy trips you. He takes the ball from you and runs away. Now, I know it isn't right, but there is something in you that just wants to jump up and run after him and just take him out. But if a girl does that, there is something in you that tells you that at least things are just a little bit more complicated. We can't just slide tackle her down. Now, that feeling, that's not ancient chivalry. No, that is in every man's moral DNA. Men are wired. They're designed by God to lead, provide, and protect in appropriate ways. So let's go on to the girls. Women are designed and called by God to affirm leadership from worthy men and to nurture those that God has placed in their care in appropriate ways. Now let's picture something else. A baby is crying. I mean, bone-chilling kind of crying. You watch, you see men dash to the corners of the room, but women, Even teenage girls, there's something in them that moves them towards the baby to help him and to nurture him. Now, that's not weak or purposeless. No, that's how God has wired women to work. Now, don't hear me wrong at all. I'm not saying that a woman does not make a good leader or that men are not called to nurture others. My boss right now is a woman, and I respect her so much. She is doing an absolutely amazing job. But these unique roles, unique ways that God has made us, it does define the flavor of how God has called you will take form. So in short, male and female are equal in worth, no questions asked, but God has designed them beautifully different to fulfill two distinct roles in this world. And tomorrow we'll see how that plays out in the family and marriage context. Now, before we go and close out today's video, I just want to encourage you. You're in a season of your life where you're figuring an awful lot out. Hormones are racing through your body and making you think and feel all kinds of things. And not only that, the world around you is sending all kinds of confusing signals of what it means to be a guy, what it means to be a girl. And I want you to know that I admire the way that you guys are balancing all of this. So let me close out with two truth statements, two ways for us to remind ourselves of what is right, even when we feel confused about the world around us. And honestly, being confused on this topic is very, very normal for teens your age and honestly for the years to come. So here's the first truth. My body is not the problem. Maybe you wish that you were a guy, or maybe you wish that you were a girl. Maybe you wish that you were stronger, thinner, or better looking. It really doesn't matter what you wish you were. It all stems from the same line. The truth is this, our bodies are God's good gift. In fact, God says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. In that sense, we are just right. And then lastly, God chose to create you the way that He did. God makes no mistakes. If He created you a girl, body, mind, heart, total package, then He did so for a reason. Within God's amazing design, He has a purpose for you. And I don't know what it is, but I know that it'll include to lovingly nurture somehow along the way. And guys, God did not make a mistake with you either. You will be called in one way or another to lovingly lead, protect, and provide. As God finished creation, He looked at it and He said, "It is good." And even though sin messed many things up, the way He designed you is indeed exactly what He said at the end of creation. It is good.